What's going on, guys? A big welcome to you all to our channel. We are Team Crushing the Meta. Here with D-Boy, and I'm here for you guys with the last reveals for Spike Brothers. So this is part 6. If you haven't seen the first few parts, you can check them out. All the links are down in the description section below for you guys to know our thoughts about the cards for Spike Brothers for this set. If you're interested in WARLORD or MECHA, we also did videos on those, so all the links also are in the description section below. So this is about the reveals from set 10, which features Spike Brothers, Tachikaze, MECHA, and Shadow Paladin. And in this video we'll talk about the last 3 cards for Spike Brothers that were in the set, and we will also talk about the SP pack, because we almost know what the SP pack will be. Not sure yet, but it will be confirmed, I think, tomorrow on Tuesday. Alright, the first thing that we have to talk about after we did this video is, of course, which cards of this set are the winners for Spike Brothers, and will this make a difference for Spike Brothers? Because I've seen some people on Facebook that really do not believe that Spike Brothers got a good support, where when you ask me, I'm more than happy with the things that we have got. Alright, so the last few cards. First we have another grade 3, which is a rare. I actually really wanted to have a grade 2, but we end up with having more grade 3s that you could use with Rising, of course. So we have PUNTING cannon right here. An interesting art when it comes to Spike Brothers. This could also have been a Nova Grappler or a Dimension Police unit, but yeah, it's a Spike Brother unit, sure, why not? And he has the ability, which is on Vanguard, once per turn, an act ability. Put a card from your hand into the soul. Look at the same number of cards from the top of your deck as the number of grade 3 units you have. Call them to check one card from among them, pick one and call it to rare guards, and put the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. The called unit gets plus 10k. Alright, so it's similar skill, of course, to the skill of Gyroslinger and Rinaldo, but he does not cost a counterblast, and he's an act, which means that you could use him with Rising Nova himself. You could target this with Rising Nova, it's a Vanguard ability, and then of course you could activate it. The downside to this card is it has no rare guard ability, which means that he himself is kind of useless. Yes, you could target him with Rising, yes, he could help you to fill the soul, and yes, he also gives that unit the extra 10k, which means that with Cyclone, the unit that you restand will get even more power. So all of that are good and effective, but you still will have to target him with Rising to get that ability. And it seems to me that's a waste of resources. You have way better units to target with Rising than this card. So it's nice that they gave us something like this. It's nice that we have the choice to use this as maybe a one-off. Sometimes you need it just to fill the soul. I could see people tag him in there as a one-off, but for me, I don't think that this card was necessary. But again, guys, this is a rare, and rares are common, are cards that should be like this, right? So you could not expect this to be as good as a double rare or a triple rare. That's, yes, okay, they took one of our triple rares, but they gave us an amazing rare being the grade 2, right? So we have seen this, as I said before, the same as Ronaldo, same as Gyroslinger. The good thing about this card is an act ability, so it's kind of different than those two, which means it's good to have cards that have different timing that you could use them, and that could be effective in the long run. When we need cards like these, we could use them. And one of the most important things about this card is it fills the soul, and also it doesn't cost a counterblast. The only thing I dislike about it is it needs to be a Vanguard to activate its ability, and does nothing on the rare guard. If this was on the rare guard that gains a 10k or goes to soul and draw a card or something like this, I could see this card being played. Next card we have is another grade 3, but this time a common grade 3. So things are, this is the card that I expected to be maybe, hopefully, a grade 2, but it's a grade 3. And it's called Big Back Warlord. Amazing name. I love the art actually on this card. Yes, you can see kind of the chains around his arm, and you can see the horns and everything. The colors are picked also very well. Like, this card is gonna destroy everything. But the thing is, it's a grade 3 without a marker, which means that could be a downside because you don't want to ride this. It has a Vanguard and a rare guard ability. The first one is a continuous ability on Vanguard. During the battle, it attacked when your opponent would call from his hands or her hands to the Guardian Circle. She or he must call 2 cards at the same time, which means it's a Battledore skill. It's a good skill, especially if you want to have, let's say, you're Rising and you're Rising with attack them with the Force 1 and Force 2, and they have to guard with 2 cards, which means they could not just PG the attack. So that's it's a very nice ability. It's a nice addition to have to add to the deck against, let's say, Protect Cleanse if needed. But again, it's not that effective, and you have better targets to target with Rising than this card. The second ability is a Vanguard ability. That makes this card better than the card before because it also does something on the Vanguard circle. And it has another continuous ability, and it said if this card is chilling on a circle and you have Force 1 and Force 2, then you pretty much get Intercept, and this card gains 10k shield, which means that you could intercept with this card for the extra 10k. It's nice, it's cute, but again, I don't think that this would be as effective as other choices that we could add to the deck. Another card that I could see played at 1, you could recycle it and then use it again, but in my eyes, it's not worth it to see plays. But again, it's another choice to target with Rising or to play, which is good because sometimes you could use these kind of cards. Alright, and last but not least, we have a grade 1 common. This is an amazing card. I actually love the art on them. You can see the arms. He's kind of give everything the resources that he needs. His name is MECHA Manager. So we haven't had a MECHA Manager before. We had a Medical Manager. So it's nice to have just another manager, just another staff member, let's say. And that's also what he did, or what he does. He has an act ability on Vanguard. Rest this unit, and one of your other Vanguards gets plus 10k front row Vanguards. Oh no, it doesn't say front row, just Vanguard. Get an extra 10k. There was a lot of fault, or let's say translation mistakes made on this card, so we have to wait to make sure we got the right one. But I think that this is the right one, which is one of your other Vanguards get plus 10k until the end of turn, and then that Vanguard at the end of the battle goes back to the bottom of your deck. So it kind of gives him the power, but then it puts him back to the bottom. And this is good, again, with cards like Spiking Cyclone and Rising, because you could target him with Rising, and then you could pretty much put him back to the deck. And the unit that you want to restand, right? So you attack with the Rising, you restand, and then you put the bottom of the deck. Which cards work very good with that? Well, we have the new grade 2, right? Because that card already goes to Soul, so you don't really have to put it at the bottom of the deck anyway. And then you would say, yes, but don't we want to use his skill right away? Well, you don't have to. You could give the power to this card, so it becomes 20k beater. You could attack with it first, do not use its ability, and yes, your opponent could intercept or not. I mean, they will lose their interceptors anyway, so why not just do it right there? And then you could attack with the Rising, restand him with Cyclone's ability, and then on the second attack that you do with this, then you put him into the Soul and draw a card. It's because it said at the end of the battle that you need to attack, so it's up to you to use that skill or not. Okay, so that could work, but on the other hand, I think, well, let me see. The timing set at the end of the battle, the unit attacked, so I think that would not work with him. You could, but then you have to use him on the first attack, which means you could not target him with Cyclone. So what will happen is you attack with something different, then restand him with Cyclone, then attack with this, with the 10k, then put him into your Soul to draw, and then you don't have to put him to the bottom of your deck. I think that would be the thing. Okay, so you could not really restand it with Cyclone. Interesting, but no. Next card we have is, of course, the Black Panther. The same thing. You could, instead of putting him back to the bottom of your deck, you could put him into your Soul. So you can see that this card has some uses, but most of the time it's just a comment that it's nice to have to the team. It could be a one-off or two-off, but it's not that effective. The nice thing I love about his art is you can see the guy in the background with number 8 is like, but that's the only thing. Okay, now we have the SP pack. We already have leaks for the SP pack for the Gridora deck, so for Mecha only. Because of that, we almost know what the SP pack will be for Spikelet. So we have the VR, which is Rising Nova, we have Adorbs, which is the triple R, and then we have the second triple R, which is our Stride Folder, which is in this case Great Researcher, which is Acrobat Verdi, right? Then we come to the grade 3s and we add Cyclone to the deck. This is very, very, very nice that they gave us Cyclone, if they will give us Cyclone, because it's another grade 3 that you run with the deck, and it would be nice if it's an SP the same as Rising. And then we will get the Quick Shield, the Starter, and a PG. So those are standard. So this should be the SP pack. Which cards do we really want? Not Adelaide, but the Inu grade 2. Which is just a rare, but he deserves to be better. So I would love it if that card become the SP as well, but I don't think that we will get that. And that's pretty much it. I would like to thank you guys for watching. Thanks you for all this love and the support. Don't forget to comment, like, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already did that. And we love all the support that you guys give to our channel. We're growing big thanks to you guys, and it's amazing to see you enjoying our videos. Alright guys, till next time.